Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvamanusandadha Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramo Panishadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. In this weekend Bhagavad Gita class, on every first and third Sunday, from 10 to 12:30, we have a class in Bhagavad Gita. Accordingly, this is the first Sunday, and so we have Bhagavad Gita class, weekend Bhagavad Gita class, which is ongoing. We started from beginning of Bhagavad Gita and now we are in the 9th chapter of the Gita. In the section that we are discussing right now is where Lord Krishna describes or reveals who really He is. What is the nature of Ishvara? The nature of Ishvara that Vedanta delineates, explains, is very beautifully described here in the 9th chapter. Lord Krishna says that I am the only one. What Vedanta primarily reveals is the non-duality. All there is Ishvara, and there is nothing other than Ishvara. Now, how do you say that, Swami? We see so many things here. Where is Ishvara here? We see chairs and tables and human beings and so many creatures, so many things we see. So in spite of all this duality, variety, multiplicity, diversity, disparity, how do you say that what is one Ishvara? Therefore, Lord Krishna explains what is the nature of Ishvara, how Bhagavan or Ishvara is one in spite of many. Not one in absence of many, one in spite of many, like saying that there is one gold in spite of many ornaments. And that number of ornaments we see are nothing but the manifestation of one gold. And the relationship that there is between ornaments such as bangle and the gold is one of the karya karana, meaning that gold is the karanam, cause, and the ornament is effect, karya. Not only is gold the cause of ornament, but what we call the upadana karana, material cause of the ornament, meaning the gold alone manifests as ornament, and therefore, in spite of any number of ornaments, what we have is one gold. And so also in the universe there are countless names and forms. Many are sentient like you and I, others are insentient like these chairs and tables. Thus there are countless names and forms, sentient and insentient. In spite of all of these variety and diversity and inequality, Lord Krishna says, what is one, and that is me, meaning the Lord. Which means that we have to understand this fact. Our Puja Swami used to say, we don't have to believe in Ishvara, we have to understand Ishvara. Believe in Ishvara. The belief is required for something that is remote, something that you do not experience. If Ishvara is in heaven, then Ishvara is a matter of belief. But what Vedanta says is, what is this Ishvara? Meaning that whatever you are experiencing is Ishvara. How can we, now then Ishvara is to be understood? Now, belief is not there because Vedanta says that whatever it is Ishvara. How is that so, Swami? So in that case, Ishvara or Bhagavan is to be understood. How this variety, diversity, multiplicity is all one Ishvara. How is it so? In a manner similar to saying that there are so many, the countless waves are there when you go to the ocean front. And in spite of countless waves, where each wave is different from the other, each wave has its own name and form. Waves also are of different kinds, small and big, and they have different names. But in spite of all that, what there is this water. Yes, Swami, that example you always give. Vedantians give example of this pot and clay and there is only one inspired. We understand that. Golden ornament, pot and clay, wave and water. You get away with these examples because yes, the wave is there is one water in spite of many waves, and one clay in spite of many parts, and one gold in spite of many ornaments. That is all right. But to say that there is one God, one Ishvara, in spite of many names and forms, how do we understand that? So, Lord Krishna explains how to understand that. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina. The first line, verse 4 says, Maya idam jagat tatam. Yeah, Arjuna, I pervade the entire universe. Oh, you pervade all but avyakta murtina, by my unmanifest form, by my form that is not evident to the senses. But I pervade whatever there is, I pervade that. Just as clay pervades all the parts, I pervade the entire universe. But Swamiji, when we see the clay apart, the clay is evident to us. Therefore it serves as a good example. But similarly, is Ishvara evident to us? When we see this world and names and forms and all this variety and diversity, so when we are perceiving the part, we are also perceiving clay. Similarly, when we are perceiving this world, are we perceiving Ishvara? Yes? In what form? Avyakta murtina, by my murti, by my form, which is not evident to the senses. But it is evident to the intellect, to the understanding, that there is something that pervades all these diverse names and forms, sentient, insentient, good, bad, indifferent, whatever there is. And that is that every object has, as you know, the 5 aspects. That this flower is, the flower shines in your consciousness. The flower is beautiful, therefore it is a source of pleasure. Flower is asti. Flower shines in your consciousness, bhati. And flower is beautiful, therefore priyam, it is dear. Asti, bhati, priyam. And this is a flower, has a name, rose, and a form corresponding to that name. Same rule applies to a part. Part shines in my consciousness. Part is dear. Because every day it becomes an example for me to demonstrate so many things. Useful. And it has a name and a form. So every object is essentially similar from this standpoint. That every object possesses these 5 aspects. Asti, bhati, priyam, nama, rupa. What distinguishes one object from the other is nama rupa. Even then, even in spite of that distinction, what is common to every object is asti, bhati, priyam. Just as to take this example, and there are these 2 parts, and they are different from each other, but the clay is the common substance. So also every name and form is different from the other, but what is common? What is the most common denominator? Asti, bhati, priyam. I don't see Swami. I don't see asti, bhati, priyam. No, you don't see. I don't experience. No, that we cannot say. I experience name and form, asti, bhati, priyam, I don't experience. We do experience. Asti, every name and form is, shines, is dear, asti, bhati, priyam. But if I ask you, where is that asti, bhati, priyam? When you see a part like this, you also experience the part that is, part shines, part is dear, asti, bhati, also you experience, do you not? When you experience any object, such as a pot, a flower, you also experience the isness because flower is. that it is an object of my awareness, it shines. That it is dear, useful, contributes something, priyam. Thus we experience asti bhati priyam whenever we experience any object. Doesn't matter whether object is precious, object is useless, is valuable, without any value. This much credit to the asti bhati priyam. Next question is, where is asti bhati priyam? Is it in this flower? Yes, Swami, flower is. Flower shines. Flower is dear. The isness, shining, dear, asti, bhati, priyam is where the flower is. The answer is no. Where is asti, bhati, priyam? Where I am. The asti, aham, asmi, satchit, ananda, asti, bhati, priyam is the nature of the self, of the consciousness. But Swami, it is there and this is here. No, the there and here itself are the concept that we have to examine. With reference to asti, bhati, nothing, no name in form is apart from that. So Lord Krishna says, I pervade the whole universe of name and form as asti, bhati, priyam. And where is that? That is my own self, meaning that I pervade the entire universe of names and forms. I don't see myself. Swamiji, you say that you are in everyone? Depends on what my notion of I is. If I think that I am the body, certainly I am not in everyone. If I am this body, mind, sense, then of course I am not in everyone. But if my perception of myself also changes, then the body, mind, sense organs, all of that are incidental. When I take next birth, then all of that will change. They have been changing constantly. What is essential about me? This is my costume, that is incidental, that keeps changing. Who am I putting on that costume is asti, bhati, satchit, ananda. So Lord Krishna says, I am satchidananda, satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma. And maya tatamidam jagat avyaktamurtina. The entire universe is pervaded by me as asti, bhati, brahma, as satchit, ananda. Swami, where is ananda? The asti, sat is okay, bhati, priya is shine. But then you say that satchidananda pervades everything. I don't think it pervades me. Maybe everywhere else, not in me. Do you think that ananda pervades you? Do you think that you're always engrossed in ananda or embedded in ananda or sang, The answer is yes. Except that we are looking at ananda as a state of mind. Ananda is the nature of the self. And to experience that ananda, certainly we require a certain state of mind, which is what we call the sattvic mind. But even if you don't experience that ananda, you are ananda. So Lord Krishna says, Maya tadavidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina. I pervade the entire universe by my unmanifest form, which is asti, bhati, priyam, satchit, ananda. Meaning that you and I, each one of us is what? Satchit Ananda. Because his body, mind, sense, which I think I am, is really incidental about me. I think that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, that is myself, and that is my recognition. That's how I describe myself also. When I make an application for the university, that's what I describe. But that is only incidental. Essentially what I am is Satchidananda. Lord Krishna says, as Satchidananda, as a self, I pervade everything. Mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshuvastita. They're all in me, I am not in them. So next question that arises, Bhagavan, you say that you pervade in everything. Does it mean that then when I become unhappy, you are in me, so you also become unhappy? That I am born, you are also born? I die, you also die? I am a samsari, are you a samsari? I am at least a limited samsari. If Bhagavan pervades everybody, he becomes a mahasamsari, is it not so? I don't think I want to be Bhagavan like that, mahasamsari. Mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha. They're all in me, I am not in them, meaning that I am not bound by these names and forms. The changes, the modifications, the limitations of names and forms do not apply to me. They are all in me, I am not in them, I am not confined to them. Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram. In fact, Lord Krishna, next verse says that even the beings are not in me, meaning that the relationship is that I pervade everything. At the same time, I transcend everything. To explain that, what is pervading everything and transcending everything? Imagine an actor taking a variety of roles and playing those roles on the stage. He puts on a costume and comes out as a king. In the next act he comes out as a beggar. In the third act he comes out as a minister. Fourth act he comes out as a villain. Same actor puts on all these diverse costumes and appears as totally different, sometimes king and sometimes also a villain, sometimes a hero. So when the actor plays the role of a beggar, does he become a beggar? When the actor plays the role of a king, does he become a king? He does not become. He appears as a beggar. He appears as a king. Is it not so? Otherwise, no actor would take the role of a beggar if he had to become beggar. Everybody will want to only play the role of a king if that is what is happening. But the actor knows that this is just an acting. I don't become a beggar, I don't become anything by taking that role, as our Swami would say. By taking the role of beggar, he becomes richer, in fact. Therefore, this role is an appearance. He appears as a king, he appears as a beggar, he appears as such and such. So when Bhagavan says, I pervade everything, that means that I appear as this universe. Swamiji, one Bhagavan appearing as countless entities, yes? We experience that sometimes in our dream. When in dream also I experience giving, like talks in the dream also. That's all I do. So dreams are also like that. And there also you are sitting in front of me and giving me a smile like this, But all that audience in the dream, we did not have to invite, you didn't have to travel. We didn't have to invite you. We didn't have to build this hall. It's all created. This is nothing but the projection of my mind. Is it not so? And the dream emerges from me, is sustained in me, and emerges back into me when I wake up. Otherwise, what will happen? I wake up from the dream, and all the other people are still there in the dream. They are all waiting. When will this Swami come back? But that's not so. They all wake up along with me. It's a projection of my mind, so it emerges from the mind, it emerges back into me. So also Lord Krishna says, the whole universe emerges from me, is sustained by me, emerges back into me. Meaning that the relationship that Lord Krishna and Ishvara has with the creation is similar to the one that we have with our dream. We project the dream. And we again resolve it into ourselves. And so also Lord Krishna says, He projects the whole universe. And when I am projecting, I am dreaming of all of you people, where have you all come from? Did you get my invitation? That now come in the evening, you attend a talk that I'm going to give you in my dream. Did you get an invitation? No. You were created by my mind. I gave you, very beautiful talk. And you're all again withdrawn into me, emerge from me and merge back into me. I am the material cause. I pervade the entire dream. Similarly also Lord Krishna says, I pervade the entire universe. Meaning what? The whole universe is nothing but projected by Ishvara. Remains for a while. He withdraws. Therefore, Lord Krishna said in the 7th verse, Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshe punastani kalpado visrujamyaham. Hey Kaunteya, hey Arjuna, Sarvabhutani, all the beings. So Lord Krishna does not distinguish between the God and Satan, etc. All the beings. And all the beings are classified as what? Sattvic, Rajas, Tamas. And it was stated in 7th verse, 7th chapter. Meaning that includes also saints and sinners, everybody is included. Sarva Bhutani, all the beings, beginning from the highest, that is Brahmaji, the greatest, to a small little and insignificant creature. Sarva Bhutani, all the beings. Whether they're saints or sinners, they're great or they're insignificant. Prakritim yanti mami, all of them then at the time of dissolution, they all merge into my Prakriti. Kalpakshe punastani visujami kalpadav. At the beginning of next cycle, I again bring them into being. Lord sitting there plays this game. If you want to call it game. The children used to go to seashore sometimes and make a beautiful house from the sand. Sometimes single story, 2-story, 3-story. Now tell my brother, this is your room. This is my room, don't come in here. So this is how you would create a home or a palace. But children are funny. When they go back home, they just kick everything. I don't know why do they do that. They create and they destroy. Lord says, I also create, sustain for a while, again merge it, destroy, again create, sustain, destroy. This is the game that is going on. Lord Krishna gives us a cosmic picture. We are in individual life, we are so, entangled in the individuality. We lose the whole picture. So here Lord Krishna is inviting us to stand apart and look at the whole universe. How the universe comes into being, is sustained for a while, it merges back, again it emerges, sustained for a while, merges back. What's the big deal? Oh, Swami, what about my this and my... what does my little life matter in all this cosmic play? When we realize that we are just a fraction of this whole cosmic play, then so much importance we give to small things. I realized that it did not make sense. That every small thing became so important to me, everything was so magnified. But when I look at it from this cosmic standpoint, I see the whole universe, that the whole play is going on. It emerges, is there for a while, merges back, emerges. Prakritim swamavastabhya visrujami punah punah. Wielding my prakriti, wielding my maya or prakriti or my energy, visrujami punah punah. I create again and again. Bhutagramam Krishnam. This entire group, entire host of all the beings. Lord Krishna says, I create them again and again. That includes from Brahmaji all the way up to an ant. Meaning that whether it's big or small, doesn't matter. Everything is created, sustained, dissolved, created, sustained, dissolved. If that is the picture we actually look at, if as Lord Krishna is suggesting that we create a distance with the universe and see the whole cosmic drama going on, then realize that what are we all the time worried about, concerned about, with our little world. Bhutagramam Krishnam avasham prakriter vasat. All these things happening. Then this Bhutagramam, the host of the beings, they have no choice. They don't have any freedom. We don't have freedom. We just follow the cycle. Whether you want it or not, the pralaya comes. Whether you want it or not, this Srishti comes. So Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, this goes on. And we don't have any freedom to do it differently or not obey. Avasham means what? Helplessly, Prakriti Vasat, under the control of the Prakriti or the Maya, this whole universe thus comes and revolves. Because the creation, sustenance, dissolution, nobody has any freedom. We just go through the cycle that is set by Ishvara. So Swamiji, what are you trying to say? That if we look at this, the small things that have become so important to us become insignificant. If we take the whole picture, and take the picture, even our own life picture we take, not just because we get so entangled with one, a short period of time, but in our own life also we take the whole picture. And we are part of even greater picture, then everything becomes insignificant. And Lord Krishna says, because how big are you? Here, as we said, Vedasti bhadi priyam, there is nothing but my own self. So how big am I? If I measure myself by the body, of course I am insignificant. My mind, my upadhi, the costume is insignificant. But the one who is putting on this costume, that asti bhati priyam satchit ananda, understand that asti has no dimension. Bhati has no dimension. Asti bhati priyam satchit ananda does have no dimension, no form, no limitation. Each it is free from all limitations. Asti bhati priyam, limitless. But Swami, this limitless manifests through this upadhi which is so limited, insignificant. That's all. How? The limitless manifests through an insignificant thing. And since we always judge ourselves based on this costume, therefore we always feel we are insignificant. But if we pay attention, shift our attention from the medium through which the manifestation is to the one who manifests. Who is the one that you and I who manifest is what? Asti bhati priyam satchit ananda, which has no form, no boundary. Each one of us is boundless, formless, existence, awareness, wholeness. Wholeness doesn't have any boundary, that's called whole. Purnam. Or Ananda is same as Ananta. So here Lord Krishna is giving us like this cosmic picture of creation, sustenance, dissolution, creation, sustenance, dissolution. This is being given to help us understand that, this such a cosmic game, we get so entangled with our individual life and individual events that we lose sight of the total picture. So Lord Krishna is giving us the total picture here. But Lord Krishna, you are doing so much, you're creating, sustaining, dissolving. Do you know what you have created? You created people, so there is so much suffering in this world, do you know that? You are sleeping in your bed and then imagining, but do you realize that in the universe that you created, there is so much suffering? That means that you are responsible for causing pain to countless entities, is it not so? If He has created the world, then He has created suffering also, is it not so? Then, does it not mean that He is performing karma which is papa karma because you make all this diverse universe and therefore people are all different and so on. And Bhagavan, because of that, there is so much of disparity, so much of jealousy and so much of suffering is going on. You had created every equal, that would be nice, is it not so? Would it have been so nice or not? Everybody was equal. Everybody looked equal. Same color of the skin, same height, same weight, same everything. Cannot be. Is not so? That means that you are creating all this diversity. Creating somebody who is happy, somebody unhappy, somebody wealthy, somebody poor, somebody powerful, somebody powerless. So you have created all this diversity, disparity. Then are you not responsible? So isn't this karma of creation, you are the karma, then since you perform that karma, are you not stuck with the outcome of the karma also? See, when we do something, when you perform karma, whoever performs karma is accountable for the karma phala. Isn't it? That's the basic law of karma. Basic law of karma is one who performs the karma is also accountable for the outcome. It cannot be that I do something and you are stuck with the outcome and vice versa. It cannot be. At least in Ishvara's scheme there is no mix-up. He must have a huge computer and he never makes a mistake. Even our banks make mistake and somebody's account money goes into some other account and stuff like that happens sometimes. In Bhagavan's creation, it cannot be that I perform some karma and you are stuck with the outcome. Whoever performs karma is accountable for karma phala. Similarly, Bhagavan, you are performing this karma of creating so much suffering, creating all these people who are so much diversity, disparity is there. You made somebody rich, somebody poor, somebody happy, somebody unhappy, somebody powerful, somebody powerless. That's what you created. Then would you not be accountable for the outcome of this kind of work, outcome of this karma? Then Bhagavan is able to go to hell, is it not so? For creating so much suffering and diversity. You see, nobody is happy in this universe. Even if you are the best in the world, you are the wealthiest, but wealthiest person is also not happy. I would imagine. I don't know how it feels, but I would imagine. There was this greatest sprinter, Usain Bolt. You must have heard his name. Number one, and nobody ever ran as fast as him. So he's declared the fastest human being in the earth. So he must be happy. Nobody like me. But then every year this competition takes place. You think Usain Bolt will be watching that? If I were him, I would watch and I will make sure that nobody breaks my record. Then I'm concerned that this fellow, if somebody comes and breaks my record, then what? You follow what I'm saying? Even though he is the fastest one in the world, and he has set this record, and still I'm the fastest one, but he wants to make sure that nobody is faster than him. So therefore he has the same anxiety. The person who did not ever, ran that far, of course it's a different thing. But this fellow also will be anxious. So next, maybe tomorrow somebody may come who may break my record. So even the greatest achiever also is not happy. You made this world in which nobody is happy. So how much papa you are doing creating Bhagavan? Is not so? Having created miserable people. Every human being is miserable. Other creatures are not miserable, they are all right. Dogs and cats, etc., they are all fine. Human being, most miserable creature. If you are feeling miserable, you have a lot of company. So, Bhagavan, you have done this and therefore you must be accountable for the result of suffering of so many people. He says, no, udasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. When all this, the karma of creation, sustenance, dissolution is going on one hand he says that I perform this karma, I create, I sustain, I dissolve. Prakritim swam avastabhya visujami punah punah. Wielding my prakriti, I create and sustain and dissolve. So he takes all the credit that time. When we say, then you must be stuck with the outcome, so that I am not. He says that I create, and moment we say that if you create, then you are accountable for the mess that you have created. No, I am not accountable. How does he create? Udasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Udasinam. My role is what? Even though I say that I created, what is my role? Udasinam. Like a disinterested witness. Now, when we are watching these Olympics, and when Denmark and somebody plays with each other, what is our interest? I don't care. Whether Denmark won or Argentina won or Spain won, it doesn't matter. Well, I'm not connected to any of those countries. If US is all right, if India, then it's a different thing. But otherwise, who cares whether Denmark won or whether this fellow won? Doesn't matter to me. So how do you watch those games? That is called udasina, vadasinam, like an uninterested witness. Not cricket with Hindu, India, Pakistan. That is no way. I'm most interested witness. But otherwise, if Australia plays with New Zealand, that's it doesn't matter to me who wins. We are uninterested witness because not concerned about the outcome. Lord Krishna has similarly also udasina vadasinam, and when all this game of creation, sustenance, dissolution goes on, who am I? I am like a disinterested witness. Meaning that, therefore, so on one hand he says, I create everything and sustain and dissolve. But what is the way of creating? Just the disinterested witness. As a witness, can you create? Yes. He says, I don't create, my Prakriti creates. Then how do you say you create? Because in my presence the Prakriti does. That will be stated next verse. But the thing is that on one hand you say that I don't do anything. The other say I do everything. In spite of doing also I don't get stuck with any outcome. He is the best of everything. And by saying this, he is teaching us how we should be. It is not that Lord Krishna is boasting, he can boast. But what's the reason why he is describing this to us? So we can also become like that. It is possible ultimately to perform an action as an uninterested witness. For that we have to grow, by the way. Not where we are right now, but we have to grow in our purity, grow in our from tapas to rajas to sattva, and thus when we are totally sattvic, when you totally experience the ananda within yourself, when you are abiding in fullness, and then you become free from all agenda. We cannot perform an action as a disinterested witness right now because in every act I have an agenda. I want things to happen in one way and not in another way. But as I grow and I experience the wholeness or fullness which is my nature, then I have nothing to gain from the action because there is called wholeness where there can be no growth, there can be no decay. So thus, when I recognize my wholeness, then the result of an action cannot add anything to me, nor can it take away anything from me. Understand this? In that case, when performing action, the outcome is of no consequence to me. That is called anasakti. That means I am unattached to the outcome. So, thus more we grow within ourselves, more anasakta or more detached we become. It's not an attitude only. It's not that I am watching, the witness attitude business doesn't work. In order to do that, you have to grow. People think, Swamiji, I am doing a karta bhav se karma karta hu. I am doing karma, what a karta bhav. All of this, in fact, invites me to grow. And this we can grow to the extent of Ishvara also. Not that we can become omniscient, omnipotent, but as far as his self is concerned, we can also become like that. We can also discover the wholeness within ourselves, and as a result, as you approach your wholeness, you become less and less concerned about the outcome, and therefore less and less interested in the outcome. So you do whatever you do, without concern about the outcome. So when Lord Krishna says performing action, karmanyavadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana, you have the right to perform the action, you have no right for etc. etc. That means that here Arjuna discovers the fact that you don't have to worry about the outcome. Ultimately you grow to a point, like if you play with your son, for example, what? With marbles. Oh, there is that game, what is it called? Vyapar, what you used to call it? What is it? Monopoly, okay. So your son is there and you are also there. That fellow is very excited. Hey Dad, I got Ville Parle, it's so much. Now then we had those kind of things. Santa Cruz. Now they were very, very valuable places. When you get that, see, I have become so much, I have become wealthy. When you're playing with your son, when I was that little, then everything was very important to me, and I was really at night I would have my dabba and now calculate what all I have corrected and what I lost. What does it matter now? Because I've grown, understand? If I become 35-year-old father and still I compete with my little child and then I play foul, that means I have not grown. That is called growth, I don't mind. I can even help my child win the game and make him happy. You become generous. So imagine Bhagavan, how generous he is. Totally. Similarly, we can become Bhagavan like that in our nature, that we can also grow. Not that we were omniscient, omnipotent, not that stuff. But in wholeness and fullness also we can grow. In that case, udasin, because nothing can add into you, nothing can subtract, take away anything from you. You add a few buckets of water into ocean, no problem, take away, no problem. So also when you become whole and complete, which is your nature, in a primary sense you can be udasina, uninterested witness, because everything is all right. Something happens there, everything is all right. India wins, all right. Pakistan wins, all right. Not so far, but anyway, that is. Thus, Lord Krishna in these verses, beautiful verses, understand what is the concept of Ishvara in Vedanta. This is the concept of Ishvara. And therefore I repeated those words which you have done it, but still, here Lord Krishna reveals the nature of Ishvara, who is whole, complete, asti, bhati, priyam, boundless, self of all, and therefore sustaining everything like an actor sustains all the roles. In Vedanta we call it a superimposition, that a beggar is superimposed upon the actor. Therefore actor does not become the beggar, actor appears as beggar, so also Ishvara appears as the whole universe. And therefore everything becomes a play for him. If you identify with him, then that becomes play for us also. And for that, the nature of Ishvara is revealed here for us also to recognize that essential nature of Ishvara is the same as essential nature of us. Essential nature of ocean and essential nature of a drop of water are not different. If I give up my complexes of little dropness and identify with water, so also give up identification with or judging myself based on my body mind, and I realize what my true nature is. That is a means of freedom. And what freedom is what Lord Krishna is describing here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. This evening again we'll meet at 5 o'clock when our camp or retreat begins. So at 5 o'clock we'll have a class in the Atmanatma Viveka. That's the text. And we'll start that at 5 o'clock. Swamiji must have started the Aparokshanubhuti. Okay. So at 5 o'clock we'll start the Atmanatma Viveka.